It's 2018! We're living in the goddamn future! Elon Musk is forcibly willing self-driving cars into existence. God, I drank so much caffeine! But then you think to yourself, my computer crashes when I play Fortnite sometimes. Do I really want that same technology controlling my 2-ton death machine as I barrel down the highway at 80 miles an hour? So I was thinking, after I drank the caffeine, what people really want in a driverless car. And you don't want Jeff Bezos' uploaded consciousness dictating where you want to go. No, what you want is the ability to not focus on the road, to not have to hold your arms on that steering wheel or keep your foot on the accelerator or be fucked to hit the brake when a small child wanders out in the street. But the catch is, you still want to be in control of the car, don't you? Lazy piece of shit. And so the solution became so clear, so painstakingly obvious. It's not self-controlled cars, it's mind-controlled cars. Yep, that's what we're doing today. Now look, I know what you're thinking. In fact, I'm thinking it too. Michael, you're an asshole. There's no such thing as a mind-controlled car. In fact, there's no such thing as mind control, right? Sorry, fucko, you're 1 for 2. There is such a thing as mind control. Sort of. Remember those Star Wars 4? These headsets actually contain new electroencephalography, reads different brainwaves. So it might sound like insane voodoo magic, but different brainwave frequencies tend to mean different things. Brainwaves between 8 Hz and 12 Hz tend to mean that you are more focused. Brainwave frequencies between 16 and 31 tend to mean you're a little more calm, a little more meditative. And this particular EEG chip reads both of those. Those are alpha and beta waves. So am I going to be able to think about my car turning right and it's just gonna magically turn right? No, of course not. But being able to focus and have my car accelerate sounds like an awesome step forward in the world of brain-controlled cars. Alright, so I got the headset on, don't laugh, so we can see exactly what those brainwaves look like. I'll show you how I parse the brainwave data coming from the headset. And don't worry, I hear you guys loud and clear. I'm not going to include any code. I know it's boring for you, so don't worry. Fuck you, here's the code! Do you honestly think I listen to what my audience says? And this is actually just the Arduino brain library that I ported for C#. But the charting and like focus detection algorithms, I did those. I'm not really going to get into it because that bores even me, but all it does is read the data coming from this and display it on the screen. So here's the software. Now if I turn the headset on, you should start to see my alpha values or focus values appearing on the screen. There they are right there. And a really interesting number to pay attention to is this full focus average number. Now even as I start talking, you're gonna see it start to go up because I'm focusing on talking to the camera. So that's really cool. And like if I zone out, it'll drop pretty drastically. So that's the number we're gonna be using to gauge when we should make the car accelerate. As an example, I have a light on an Arduino and I'm going to turn it on using just focus. All right, I'm gonna try really hard to unfocus so that it detects like spikes in focus. Shouldn't be hard for a person like me. And focus. Fuck yeah. I bet I could hook this up to my lights. Do this. Alright, I wired it so my lights should turn off when I focus. Just give me a second to zone out. Turn off. Alright, awesome. I'll just clickbait the shit out of that. Control lights with your brain? Question mark. Top 10 YouTubers who have used mind control. That's it. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Just kidding. I upload like once a decade, so I kind of feel obligated to hook this up to a car. So the thing is, I'm visiting my family on Maui right now, so my piece of shit car is on a different island. So what I did was borrow my dad's piece of shit car and just didn't tell him what I was doing with it. It looks like this. It's not as stupid as it sounds, okay? I posted that back in 2017, and for 2 years I've been thinking of ways to get tomatoes out of my salad and out of my life faster. Solution 1 is to just not put little red shit bombs filled with bitter garbage in my goddamn salads. Fucking yucky. Yeah, but Michael, I like tomatoes. Yeah, well, some people like not vaccinating their kids. It's whatever. So what am I gonna do? Pick tomatoes out of my salad for the rest of my goddamn life? No, that's a silly, childish solution. No, what I did was build a robot that stabs them with a giant metal spike. You think your ideas are stupid just because I made a video on them? You haven't seen shit. I'm Elon Musk of bad ideas if Elon Musk was a 3-foot-tall Filipino and dumb. Before we can think about detecting the tomatoes, we have to first figure out how to move a big-ass metal spike from point A to point B really precisely so that when we do detect them, we're able to stab the ever-living shit out of them. If it looks familiar, that's because it's the corpse of my very first 3D printer that I made a video about way back when I used to cut my hair, apparently. But I rebuilt it so that now instead of a 3D printer extruder, it has a big-ass metal piston spike. Big ass metal piston spike. Big metal piston spike. Big metal piston spike. I am so excited about this because it has enough power to go clean through my hand if I'm not careful. And I'm using it to stab tomatoes. How has no one stopped me from making YouTube videos? But Michael, I hear you ask, aren't 3D printers for 3D printing objects? How are you even gonna get that thing to move? I could send it some special instructions and it won't be able to tell the difference between 3D printing an object and skewering a disgusting fucking tomato. Now for the stabbing, I hijacked the fan from my computer. Instead of turning on a fan, big metal piston spike. God, that's scary. You know, I've never actually seen this stab anything before, so I grabbed this apple from the kitchen just to test out the spike power. I don't like that. Fuck. No, it's just... As amazing as this is, I was still positioning and triggering the spike manually from my computer. That's doo-doo. Hopefully with some fancy computer vision code, we'll be able to detect all these bitter red landmines in my salad, and it'll automatically position the spike over them and pluck them out. Now we have to detect the exact positions of tomatoes within a salad. Or I'm Michael, and I get asked a lot of questions here on YouTube, like, I can't tell if you're 12 or 34 years old. Not really a question, but you know. I also get asked all the time, what programming language should I start out with? First off, you're coming to me for help, so starting bad right out of the gate. And I always say the same exact thing. It does not fucking matter. Just pick one and start learning programming. And then they always say, oh, but Michael, I heard that this one's better than this one, and this one's better than this thing. And then I always say, all modern programming languages are wildly powerful and they can do all kinds of shit. So just pick one and start learning it. And then they always say, whee! They still don't believe me, is what I was trying to say, but it honestly does not matter which one you choose. And to prove that it doesn't matter, I want to do something really cool and complicated with a doo-doo programming language. So let's go right to the bottom of the barrel and use Scratch. Scratch is a child's programming language, and I'm not just saying that to be mean. It is literally a programming language built to teach kids the very basics of computer programming. And because of that, it's not designed to do anything complicated. You can pretty much only do really dumb animations and make super simple crap. It is essentially a toy, and it would be an absolute ridiculous pain in the ass to try to do anything even remotely complicated with. So let's use it to fly a drone. This is a Parrot AR2 drone. It's verbose, it's reliable, and it's one of the cheapest drones I could find on Amazon. And since I'm gonna crash it at least multiple times, trying to figure out the Scratch controls, that's kind of all I care about. Now we can focus on setting up communication between Scratch and the drone. Thankfully, Scratch lets you build your own code blocks with JavaScript, which means you can establish a WebSocket relationship between those code blocks and a server running on your computer. That was a lot of very complicated words that I only understood about half of. So all that it's doing is taking Scratch commands and Michael, actually that means I have to know JavaScript, right? So it's not actually Scratch. Fuck you. I'm trying to control a drone with a child's programming language here, okay? All the flight logic, all the user input data, and all of the application state is gonna be managed by Scratch. JavaScript is just communication. What I'm gonna do first is actually take the reverse approach, and I'm gonna take data from the drone and put it into Scratch. Now this is an absolutely crucial step because I think it'd be really funny to have like flight data readouts, so like how high the drone is inside of a children's toy, because that would be funny. So let me